that nervousness that you feel, the worry that you feel around trading. The reason that happens is because there's an intolerance for uncertainty. When we are not able in life or as traders to tolerate uncertainty, it creates anxiety. So what to do? What are we supposed to do about this? It causes us issues. We don't accept uncertainty, creates anxiety, creates fear. What in the world do we do about it? I have 3 suggestions for you. 3 suggestions to help us cope with intolerance of uncertainty. The first one is working on accepting uncertainty. Saying, I have no idea what's going to happen here. This is the trade I'm taking. We're doing the best we can, and we need to give ourselves grace as we need it. And so working on accepting uncertainty. But part of the mantra that I really want to keep at is talking about how once you enter a trade, you have no idea. So there's no need to justify, there's no need to rationalize. You can take the best trade in the world and the outcome is uncertain, and it always will be. You cannot change that. Continuing to worry about what is going to happen is an absolute waste of time. Number 2 is to flood yourself with uncertainty. This is kind of the same thing. So the first one is working on accepting uncertainty, working on acknowledging that you do not know. You're only entering a trade because it's probabilistic per your method, but you truly do not know what the outcome will be. You can practice acknowledging that over and over and over again without doing anything to gain certainty. Okay, that's kind of key. So if you are repeating to yourself and acknowledging that this outcome of any given trade is uncertain and you're not doing anything to gain certainty, this is tricky because we do this in really subtle ways. When we move into the realm of like trying to do something to get reassurance, to find certainty, that is problematic. And then the third is really just mindful breathing in the moment, mindset warm up, the visualization and rehearsal. So those are all kind of mentalization exercises that you can do. Help relax your nervous system. You're not in a fight, flight, or freeze state when you're trading. That's important. Preparing ahead of time, visualizing ahead of time, and rehearsing in the moment. Those are all ways that you can help yourself reduce your anxiety with the underlying tone that really the goal is to become okay and comfortable with uncertainty. That's what creates the anxiety. Getting rid of that, alleviating that intolerance for uncertainty is what's going to bring peace. Any tricks to avoid overtrading? Tips for overtrading, I would say, include the mindset warm-up. So really thinking about at the end of the mindset warm-up, we think about why are we here and why are we doing what we're doing? If you are overtrading, chances are you're seeking excitement in the market. The market is exciting. It is thrilling to take a trade. It's thrilling to make money. Even though it stinks, it's also thrilling to lose money, right? We get an emotional response to it, and our brains like that, to be perfectly honest. And so to avoid overtrading, the best thing you can do is rehearse ahead of time what you plan to do. Have it in your trading plan. What is your plan? Rehearse that ahead of time before you're trading, and while you're trading, repeating to yourself what it is you're going to do. And as somebody who does not always do this perfectly, I can say, you got to do this every single day. And when you mess up, again, you got to give yourself grace and try to stay sober one more day. Okay. So if you mess it up today, you come back the next day and you try again. And perhaps somewhere in there, you might need to put yourself in trader timeout. Just like I said, my son got in trouble yesterday. He's going to come home from school, and I'm not mad at him, but he does have a consequence for his behaviors. And so just like that, we need to apply that same thing to us. We just have freedom as traders, but with that freedom also comes the responsibility to rein it in. When you don't have a boss, you have to be your own boss. How to accept the anxiety and visualizing loss without going down the spiral. Pilots, for example, I talked about, they have the chair flying where they're visualizing a flight. And then there's the simulator, which is kind of like back testing. And then there's the actual flight, which is like live trading, okay? From chair trading to live flying, the emotion progresses. There can be emotion in all 3 realms, but the emotion progresses. And so the more work you can put on in the chair flying, the better you can prepare yourself to tackle that emotion, so that when you get to the simulator, there's more emotion, but you're better equipped. So that when you get to live trading, again, more emotion, but you're better equipped. But you have to keep cycling back. You have to keep practicing. Maybe you don't always back test in between, but you have to keep at it. Keep doing it over and over and over again. I think traders that trade really well and without any kind of, well, they still have challenge, but like less challenge. It's from experience and practice and doing it over and over and over and over again. And contrary to what we think, it's not the method that they're, of course, they are executing the method over and over again, but what they're really working on, the skill that they're really honing, is the ability to accept the uncertainty, to shoot their shot and be okay with whatever the outcome. Yes, progressive loading. Exactly. We talked a couple minutes ago about agoraphobia. Somebody who is afraid of crowds, the most effective treatment is progressive exposure. So you expose a little bit, allow the body and the mind to calm down, and then you leave. And then you try it again. Maybe you delve a little bit deeper, you expose, you allow the body to calm down and the mind to calm down, and then you leave. And then you expose, and so on. And over time, progressive overload, you calm that reaction down. You realize that your worst fear is not coming true. Part of what they're saying to themselves is, I did this, I accomplished this, and I didn't die. Nothing bad happened. My worst fear did not come true. And that's the same thing you can utilize with trading. So instead of progressive exposure, it can be progressive risk. If you can do this with 1 micro, maybe you can do this eventually with 2 micros. And if you can do this with 2 micros, eventually maybe you can do it with 3. And then if you can succeed with 3, maybe you can do it eventually with 5. So you're progressively exposing yourself. It has nothing to do in that point with the size of your account per se. It's about your experience and your tolerance for it. Because we are affected by how much money is at risk. And the more money that is at risk, the more emotion is involved.